Charlie Watts, don't play the hi-hat and the snare drum together. It's all simple stuff actually, but fun to practice. So I just thought I'd start off with this. I'm going to chuck this camera back up here because I'm ready for this camera. How is everybody? Any questions? Chuck them in the question mark box. I might have a giveaway. For those that are new to this, Monday nights, we've got a YouTube going over here as well. So there's two cameras in here. I've got my coffee. How is everybody? I apologise. Last week I was due to do one of these. Oh, hang on. Pause due to poor connection. We're back. Okay, that not happened there. Hopefully everyone can see me now. Yeah, I was due to do one of these last week. But to be honest, I went and had my vaccine jab in the morning, and by the time I got to the evening, man, I was blown. I just couldn't do it. I was ill, so I couldn't do it. So I apologise. But I hope everyone's well. I hope you've had a good week. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Like I said, if you've got any questions as we go on, please chuck them in the question mark box, or let me know. I've got a few things we're going to talk about tonight. Hopefully I might also maybe do a live lesson. So if there's any topic suggestions that you want me to talk about. So we're going to be around for about 30 minutes in total. So cheers. Okay, good. So yeah. So in drum news. So what we got in drum news? Well, first of all, Ash Soan. You may have seen I reposted a Zildjian post that they put up earlier, which on my Instagram, which we did back in 20 now. Yeah, sorry, January 2020. Some education videos out in LA, and he was talking about his fast shuffle. So there's a little clip of that up on the Zildjian site or on my Instagram, so go and check that out. But Ash Soan tonight is doing the Seth Myers show. So for those that are out in the States that get it, they can watch it live. So Seth Myers is Ash Soan is the guest drummer. Be cool, and Seth Myers is the guest drummer. Ash Soan is the guest drummer tonight for the week. I think they do 4 performances, but I could be wrong. It could be 5. But for those that don't know anything about the Seth Myers show, it's a very cool show out in LA. New York. It's a chat show, but they guest in a drummer each week, and so everybody, so many drummers have done it. And tonight or this week it's Ash. I know they've been trying to get Ash for quite a while to do it, and it just hasn't worked out. So anyway, Ash is doing that, but also he's got a new EP out. So Mr. Dugmore is in the house. I hope you're well, Jeff. Because he's doing the Seth Myers show, Ash has also got his new EP that's come out today, which is pretty cool. I think it's 4 tracks. Go over to his socials and see it if you haven't seen it already. I've heard it, sounds great. Also, another drummer that you may or may not have heard of, Ringo Starr, has got a new EP out, which they recorded in lockdown. So had guests on it. Good evening from Brussels. Mr. Dugmore, Jeff Dugmore's in Brussels. I have to say this because first of all, anyone that's watching this afterwards doesn't get this come up, and second of all, if you're watching on YouTube, you don't see the questions. So, Mr. Dugmore, why are you in Brussels? How did you get out of the? How did they let you out of the country? I told them to put a banning order on you. So yeah, let me know what you're doing in Brussels, Jeff. So yes, so Ringo Starr, cool out EP out, playing a lot of the instruments, but it's got some guests in, interesting writing situations. I've got to say that some of the stuff that I've heard in the last 12 months, well, more so in the last 6 months, where people have they've got used to this lockdown around the world, and they're creating music. I don't know how many of you have caught heard the Foo Fighters album yet, but there's some really good stuff coming out. There's a few people on here I know, the Script fans. They put out some acoustic arrangements of some of their songs. There's some really nice and interesting stuff coming out of this. It's made the creative people have to rethink about what they're doing. Obviously, they've got a lot of time on their hands. So there's some good stuff out there. Like Jeff Dugmore, been here I have to read it out, I'm sorry. So like I said, no one can see this afterwards. Been here 3 weeks, recording at ICP Studios, 3-4 more weeks to go. Wow, this is it. It's all around your house for fish and chips then, Jeff. You're the one that's earning all the money. Good. Well, I hope Brussels is okay. I think Brussels is in a bit of a lockdown at the moment, but I may be wrong. So anyway, Ringo Starr, like I said, has got a new EP out, which again I think is amazing for a start. No disrespect to Ringo, but he's 80 years old and he's still bringing out music and new music at that. And also Joe Coletto. If you don't know who Joe Coletto is from Coletto Regal Tip, he is 100 years old today, and he created the plastic tip. So without Joe, we would not have had the plastic tip. Now, I actually don't use plastic tips. I used to use plastic tips. I love them, but I just like the warmth of a wooden tip now. But yeah, so Joe, 100 years old today. And while we're on birthdays, Lionel Lewis it's his birthday today. So, maybe go over to his socials, say happy birthday to him. So, what have you been up to? What have you been playing along to? Have you got any questions? I've got a few topics that some carried on from last week that I never got around to answering because, like I said, I didn't do last week. If there's anything that you want me to maybe look at, do a little quick lesson on today, I can, because as you know, I don't prepare my lessons if you've been watching these. I have got a question in here. Let me just double check, see what it is. No, I haven't got a question here. Oh, so that's it. Any plans to interview Justin Scott? We did Justin. Justin Scott was at the beginning of when we first started these. In fact, you've just set me up here nicely. Well done, thank you. So a couple of things. First of all, I think the first 25, maybe 30 live chats didn't save. They weren't saving them then. And in fact, coincidentally, I don't know if this is all planned tonight, but I think Jeff Dugmore may have been the first one that got saved. I'm almost convinced that happened. So it's all lining up here. Hi Alvaro. So Justin Scott, I think I did Justin, certainly he was one of my first 10 people that I did. I am looking at going back to doing some of the chats that I did at the beginning so that they get saved up here. And hopefully I got a little bit better with doing the live chats. But it also brings me up to a competition that we're going to be running very soon. We're just lining it all up now. Which do you usually talk to Matt from? Do you usually talk to him? Yeah, I talk to Matt. You're talking about Matt Helders, I guess. I talk to Matt quite a bit. I can talk to a lot of people though quite a bit, especially at the moment. We've all got a lot more time in our hands. Just checking in with people really. But coming back to you, Jules, yes. One of the things I'm going to be doing is a competition. And I'm going to run it through my website, mikedolby.com, and here, and all my other social platforms. We've got a great prize, and it's to celebrate, although I missed the date, because I'm not paying that much attention to it, but I missed the date, my first live Instagram chat, which would have been on the 16th of March 2020, which I think is about 125 chats ago. So Gergo was my first guest, and for those that don't know, the reason I decided to do that was Gergo was stuck out in Spain. He was meant to be going out on tour and was stranded in Spain. So I did a live Instagram chat, and that's the start of all these chats. So there's going to be a competition to celebrate my 1 year live chat. Like I said, I've missed the date because it was the 16th of March, and we're going to host it over all my platforms. It's a cool prize. So watch out for that. I'm hoping I'll be able to do that in the next, I think we'll announce that in the next few days. Just waiting for the website to be updated. So anyway, Jules, yes, I did do Justin, but unfortunately Justin's chat didn't get saved. My guest this week, actually, on Wednesday, is also somebody that I did right back at the beginning and never got saved. I can tell you now because it doesn't matter. So I've got Carl Brazil Wednesday. Mike, I see you interview Stuart Copeland. Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Alvaro. So yes, Carl Brazil is going to be my guest on Wednesday. I'm hoping to announce another guest this week, but the time difference is actually throwing me on this one. So let's bit of a tease, Mike. What's the prize? Well, the prize at Aid Holbrook is going to be the Dube, the big full-size Dube. If nobody knows about that, DUBE, go and check it out. Designed by Dion Dublin, a bit of a UK celebrity over here on TV. But it's a great percussion. It's like a cajon that you play, but it's got 5 sides that you play. It's a really good product, and that's going to be the prize. I'm sure we can get it signed, and I've got some shakers to give away, and I've got a few bits and pieces. So yeah, but like I said, I'm going to announce all that in the next couple of weeks. And like I said, Carl Brazil will be my guest on Wednesday. We may be bringing someone else on with Carl, but these are people that I've had on the show before, but like I said, they never got saved. So they're going to come in. So like I said, any questions, come just drop them in the thing. Happy to answer. I had a couple of questions, like I said, last week, and unfortunately, like I said, I didn't do last week. And one of the questions, and I'm sorry, but I did scroll through my social media to find who sent me the question, and I just can't remember. So Corey. Now I know of you. I know of Corey because I know she's a huge Phil Gould fan. And yeah, I did an interview with Phil Gould, which is up there now. It's still up on Instagram. I've been a massive fan of Phil for I don't know, since when they first came out. And then was so fortunate that, for the last 20 years, became friends with Phil. Certainly since he's come back onto the scene. Phil Gould, if you don't know out there, you need to know, was Level 42's one of the founder members and original drummers. But it's got some incredible solo material out now. An amazing musician, an incredible drummer. And I've talked about this openly on a few occasions, but it's 2 drummers that had a big impact on my playing back in the day would have been Stuart Copeland and Phil Gould. Just that energy, and to be able to go on and, well, first of all, to be able to have them up here and do Instagram chats with them has been amazing, but also to call them sort of friends and spend time with them has been incredible. So yeah, you must go and check out Phil. I mean, he's had a couple of solo albums out now, but the last solo album is brilliant. I also know that Phil's in this month's River magazine, which is nice. So check that out. And that's Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters was the editor, and he did a thing on drummers that his favourite drummers, and Phil Gould was one of those drummers. So right, I'm going to get down to one of the questions that was sent in last week and see how we get on. So one of the questions that I got sent last week was about my favourite album, and I was all ready for that last week. I was thinking about it, and I think, because that's a tough question. The Live at Wembley Stadium with Lev 42. Yep, brilliant. Not a question, but I downloaded Anika Nars Groove MIDI pack and highly recommend it. It works with Logic, etc. Works out about 19 quid. Right, thank you for that, Martin. Corey, I want to come to that later as well, about what people are using at the moment to download and to play along to. But I'm going to come back to, like I said, my question that was sent to me about my favourite album. And you know what? I just can't do it. I just can't give you a favourite album, because I've said on here on numerous occasions how music affects us in different ways. It could be there's another superstar in the house, Mr. Benny Graham. Welcome, Benny. I'm missing you, my buddy. Yeah, music affects us and has such a significant part to play in our everyday life for me to be able to say this is the album, my favourite all-time album, because I have albums that I would like because of different stages of my life. I remember, and I've talked about this before, I remember hearing my first Police album and was just like, wow, this is incredible. I remember where I was. I remember hearing Elvis Costello for the first time. In fact, I was in the old Yugoslavia working, and somebody played me an amazing track called Ship Builder, S-H-I-P. It's not the easiest word to say with a lisp. Ship Builder. And that just opened me up to Elvis Costello, which I loved, and most of his albums. And then Steely Dan, Buddy Rich. Growing up as a kid, my dad was a massive big band fan, so music like that. So there's too many albums for me to say this was my favourite album. But I thought to myself, well, you're going to want an answer. And so I decided I would suggest the last album that I listened to that I thought, I forgot how good this was. And that was Donald Fagan's Nightfly. Again, it meant so much to me in moments of where I was, what I did at those kind of times. But also, I think it was probably one of the last albums that Jeff Porcaro played on, and I'm a huge Jeff Porcaro fan. It was just such an incredible album. I've been a fan of Steely Dan and Donald Fagan anyway before that album came out. But Nightfly was definitely a great album. But like I said, I just can't. I don't know if any musician could really say this is my favourite album, because I've got particular albums that I might listen to with my kids. I went to One Direction concerts with my youngest daughter, and I loved it because it was that moment of us being together. So there's songs from that we used to have to play. Anyone that's a parent out there knows that there's songs in your life when your children get hold of one, they want to play it on repeat, and so those memories stick with me. So there's too many memories. Now another person last week came up and asked me, and I don't know if Benny's still in the house, but it's relevant if Benny's in the house as well. And that was about play-alongs. What I would recommend as play-alongs. And one of the amazing things that's happened in the last year, as I said earlier about Ringo Starr and people like that being, getting new material out, writing new material, is that the people that have got creative minds, Benny being a great example of that, I'm not going to say they've been starved of getting out there and playing with in front of people, and so they haven't had that satisfaction, but they've had to find something else. I certainly have struggled with that. And what's been so nice is so many people have brought out really great apps, really good products. I mean, Benny again is a great example of that. An amazing, the book that he's brought out is just brilliant. And I know that he's been planning it for years and years and years, but maybe it came out because COVID was there. Play-alongs, like I said, there's so many good play-alongs now. You just said about Anika, that came out this week. I've seen apps. I'm not exaggerating when I say I probably get sent maybe every couple of weeks now a new app that's got various play-alongs stuff on it. There's apps now that take off the drums. We've talked about it on here. Moises, M-O-I-S-E-S. Now you can take the drums off of there and you can replace it. So there's so many great products, and I think that's been so refreshing this year, because so many of us that are just playing playing once a week, or can get in our practice kit or whatever it is, can have a little play. We've now got music to play along with, and it's also a really good point. It's something that I've been talking to a lot of my students now, and I don't know where everyone is from around the world that's watching this, but Right, I'm going to read. I'm going to try and read. Oh, Aid, hang on. I've been going back over the Dale's House videos on YouTube in lockdown. Such a great performance. Check out the Joe Walsh one and the Go-Go Dolls performance of the Iris on there. Yeah, and so I just read all that and lost my flow. Yeah, so I don't know where everyone's coming from that's on here, but talking from an English perspective here, hopefully, fingers crossed, legs crossed, everything crossed, we are hopefully seeing that we're going to come out of some form of lockdown and we can get live music back. Okay. I saw literally before I came in here today, they just announced a load of musicals that are going to be opening up in the West End. Yeah, Benny Gregg drumless tracks. They are Benny. And so we know that music's coming back. Now we've got to be ready. There's a lot of people there now that have not actually played their drums with their band for maybe a year. And we've got to get ready for two reasons, because I keep seeing this, people saying, when we first go back out there and we start gigging, we're going to be playing all these power dealers and we're going to be doing this and that. Actually, we really shouldn't be doing that. We've got to go out there and we've got to play the song, be the drummer in the band. So we should be getting to practice that now. And these play-along stuff is the perfect time. And I've been suggesting to students, the same as I suggest to touring artists that I teach, a touring artist may have a period of time where they've got some time off, and then we have to get them ready to go out there and perform for 2 hours. So the same applies for everybody now, which means you should be maybe putting some song lists together, playlists together. Work out some songs you want to play. You may work on the playlist that you're going to be playing with the band, or just playlists that you want to play. Put it together, 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it is. Label it all up. Put it on your iPad or iPod or iPhone or whatever device you use, and just play along. Get back to playing along to music again. Don't make that first gig, wow, I've got to get in and I've got to throw everything into this gig, and not only throw anything into this gig, finding you're going to lose all the energy. Right, any news on the new Arctic Monkeys music? Feel free to let us know. That's not my department. Last time I said anything on here, last time we did anything on the Arctic Monkeys music, I noticed NME picked up on it and put it out as their feed. So, you know, I'm not getting into any of that. Let's see, I've got a question in here. Oh, wow, I'm going to actually put it up because you've asked me. What do you think will happen after COVID-19 in economy in the US? Well, I have no idea. I put it up just to say that I only worry about things I can worry about. And hopefully, if anyone watches any of my social media posts or Twitter or any of that, I don't get involved in the politics. That's not because I'm not interested. It doesn't mean that I'm not looking at what's going on. I just think that social media should be positive. Everyone's struggling. Everyone's got a story to tell. It is a deep question, wasn't it? Everyone's got a story to tell. Everyone's had a bit of a hard time, etc., etc. And so I personally feel that the tiny little contribution that I can make has to be positive and stay positive. And so the only thing I will say to you is that I don't worry about that stuff, because I can't. I'm not concerned, but I can't do anything about it. Okay, there's nothing I can do about that, and I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to worry about things I can worry about, and the same for everyone else there. Ali's just looking forward to seeing the script back out there again. Isn't that not true, Ali? See, I knew you'd be excited about that. So, like I said, play-alongs. There's so many good ones. If anyone knows stuff that's out there, I mean, over the years I've always looked out for some stuff, and back in the day, I still use them to this day. I was looking for my phone and then I realised I'm on it. The Peter Erskine stuff is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the news, yes, drums save lives. There you go. And I'm here to avoid politics and the news as well. So we're in the same group. the Peter Erskine stuff is just unbelievable. It's just brilliant. I mean, the last one I think he put out was a Bob Mintzer big band with all the charts, and you could just take off the drums and you could play along. I thought it was fabulous. There's a few big band stuff. I've put a couple of bits and pieces up recently that are out there that are really nice. Like I said, there's a lot of pop stuff out there. Kaz Rodriguez is putting out stuff all the time. Ash Soan has got stuff out there. I mean, I'm missing so many people because so many people are doing it. You know, it's just a matter of looking for stuff and finding stuff that appeals to you. I mean, I have to be honest, like I said before, I get sent links at least every couple of weeks of new drumming apps or new, and there's also a lot of rubbish out there. So you've got to shift through stuff, okay? Oh, pause due to poor connection. We're back. Hopefully we're back, everyone. Sorry, I just paused for a second. Yeah, there's also a lot of rubbish out there as well, okay? You've got to find the music that appeals to you. But there is some good stuff, really good stuff, and even with these apps now that, like I said, you can mute the drums and you could be the drummer on top of it. That's so good. And there wasn't really those facilities around maybe a year ago. And what I mean by that is, I mean any song. So obviously with Peter Erskine we talked about, or play along tracks, you could play along. There were tracks. I mean, even Tommy Igoe. I mean, look at the Tommy Igoe packages. I mean, Tommy Igoe, you get those two books, and you've got like 10 hours of material there. I mean, it's just brilliant to see all that. So I have to go and revise. Good, well done. Go and revise for your GCSEs, Freya. Now, and I'm sorry I'm not going to tell you any more about the Arctic Monkeys, but you know, it'll all come out in the wash. Everything will be sorted. Everyone, next year we are going to have so much music we will not know what to do with it, which is brilliant. And hopefully we'll have lots of gigs to go to. So yeah, go out there, find some music, etc, etc. Right, okay, so I seem to I kept pausing on my thing, so that's okay, man. Thank you very much. Good luck with your GCSEs. It's really important. Get them down. Anyway, so that's it for this week. I hope to see you on Wednesday. I may have another chat this week. How may I find the video cast with Chris Coleman? That should be here as well. That is still. If you go through my Instagrams, I can't remember when I did Chris Coleman, but if you go through them, you should definitely find them. I spoke to someone today who just had come across the Stuart Copeland one. They're all there. All those live Instagrams. You just have to scroll through my profile and you should find them. So yeah, Chris Coleman's down there. There's so many. So just go down and have a look. Chris was great, and Chris is always very, very funny. There's some really good Prince stories in that one as well. So I'm going to see you on Wednesday. We may have another guest this week, but like I said, I'm just working the timings out. So you have to bear with me. If not, we've just got the one, but that's cool because it's going to be Carl Brazil from Robbie Williams and James Blunt and Feeder, and he's going to talk about everything that he's been getting up to in the last year. The last one wasn't saved, so that's cool. And that's going to be on 7 o'clock on Wednesday. So, that leads me to say, good night. I'm like, shall I play out? I could play out. I could be like the Seth Myers show with Ash Soan, except, oh, wait a minute, I think the volume button just went down. Yeah, I could be like the Seth Myers show, but I'll play ourselves out. Okay, so let's see. Let's just do a little bit of, okay. Be a singing drummer, isn't it? So yes, please spread the love. Tell everyone what's going on. I've only been doing it for a year. Watch out for the competition prize that's coming up. Or we could do a. Let's do a Cobra. So yeah, watch out for the competition prize coming on MikeGoldberg.com. Have a good week. Enjoy the sunshine. I hope you're getting the vaccine if you're old enough. Like I said, I had mine last week. I thought it was going to make my hair grow, but look, it didn't.